Perhaps the most important equipment you're going to bring with you on your hiking trip are your shoes. So it's highly recommended when you are hiking the mountains of Colorado, the deserts of Utah, or the canyons of Arizona that you bring hiking boots along with you. Now there's three different types of hiking boots. There are the general purpose light boots, there's medium boots, and then there's the heavy boots. So first, we are going to take a look at which boots I have, which are medium boots. Um, so these boots are a good compromise of heavy boots and light boots. So they provide ankle support with this the high rise right here. They're designed with the grip of regular hiking boots. They're not quite as light as light boots, but they aren't as heavy as the heavier boots. You can also the perks of the light boots is that they're light. They're not heavy on your feet. They're good for everyday trails. I don't know if I would recommend them for Colorado. Another version of these would be trail shoes, which are constructed like hiking boots, but they have a low cut like tennis shoes. So they tend to be a lot cooler on your feet. Not cooler in the sense that they make you look cool, but that they're not as hot. Which, depending on where you are, can be a great benefit or a disadvantage. Generally, the rule of thumb is if you're going to be hiking harder slopes, you're going to want heavier boots for that extra support and protection. Now, if you haven't bought your hiking boots yet, this is a good way to figure out that the boots are the right size. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to put the boot on untied. You're going to take your foot and push it all the way to your toes or at the front of the boot. And then you're going to come around back to the back of the boot. You're going to stick your finger right in here. And it should just slide right in with no extra effort, but there shouldn't be any extra room. So it should just fit just like that. Now, if you just bought brand new pairs of hiking boots for this trip, what you're going to want to do is break them in. If you don't break your boots in, you're basically asking for blisters. So the reason you break your boots in is they'll mold and form to your feet, so that way your feet aren't sliding around as much and you don't get blisters. The way you break them in is you just wear them. You wear them around town. If you're going to the store, throw them on. If you're taking a walk around the neighborhood, throw them on. If you know a trail near your house, throw them on. But what you're going to want to do is walk generally around 25 miles before going on your real hike, just to give you some space to break your boots in. So I would recommend walking anywhere from 25 miles to 15 miles before we go on this adventure. The next pair of shoes that you're going to want to bring along with you on the hike are sports sandals. I like Chacos. These are going to be really useful for warm weather. They can be worn with neoprene socks when it's a little bit cooler, so in those cool mornings or evenings. They offer pretty good protection compared to sandals. These are going to be really useful in Utah, especially if we're crossing creeks or running water or anything like that, or if we're crossing muddy areas, because flip-flops don't have these straps on them, so they'll come off your feet a lot easier. These are also make really good camp shoes for at the end of the day. These will be good for Colorado, Utah, Arizona. Anytime where you're breaking camp, these shoes are going to come in really handy, so you can take your big, heavy hiking boots off, air those puppies out a little bit, and walk around in these babies. The next thing you're going to want to pack are your socks. I am bringing 8 pairs so that I can change out frequently, though we will have washers along the way. It's no fun to have damp and dirty socks on, and it could lead to things such as athlete's foot, which is why I'm bringing 8. The type of sock you're going to want to bring, I recommend a hiking synthetic sock. You can buy them at any store, like Columbia brand, REI, Patagonia, anything like that. These have extra support and thickness on the heel and on the toes and on the bottom of the foot, so you're less likely to get blisters. Additionally, they're also thicker, so they're a little bit more warm. If you don't have hiking socks, no need to fret. And if you don't want to go out and buy any, you can just pack, you can just double layer your socks. So you can pack some wool socks, and then you can pack some polypropylene or some nylon socks, and just put the nylon on the bottom and then put the wool on the top, and that'll work just as fine. The next thing on the packing list is headwear. You're going to want a warm hat for Colorado and for those cool mornings and evenings in most of the states we'll be visiting. So you want your hat, I prefer my hats to be wool, something that's breathable but warm. Most important, you want it to be conserving the heat on your head. So this is the hat that I'm going to be bringing. The second hat that you're going to want is a wide brim hat, such as this one. This one's going to be really important in almost every state we visit because the sun. The sun is going to be a lot stronger out there than it is here right now, especially in the high altitude of Colorado or in the deserts of Utah and Arizona. So you're going to want a wide brim hat with a little bit of UV protection to keep the sun off your face and neck. The last thing you're going to bring is a bandana. Most importantly, actually, a cotton bandana. And I know I mentioned earlier that cotton kills and you want to avoid most things that are cotton. A cotton bandana is the one exception that you're really going to want to make. Because cotton draws the moisture away, it'll keep your head cool. So when you wrap it around your head and neck, it's going to be very useful for Utah and Arizona and the desert. We have gloves. A good pair of gloves is going to be very important, especially in Colorado. You're going to want your gloves to be a mixture of warmth and dexterity. What I mean by that is you want your gloves to be able to keep your hands warm, and you want them to be dexterous. So you want the fingers to be able to unhook, unzip, pick up what you need to pick up without taking the gloves on and off frequently, because that would defeat the whole purpose of wearing the gloves in the first place. If you're constantly taking your gloves off, then your hands are constantly getting cold. So you're going to want to pack a very good pair of gloves. Next on the packing list is some facial / neck warmth protectors, I guess you can call them. So I'm going to be bringing this. It's kind of like a neck gaiter. It's something you can pull up over your head. It sits around your neck, and when you can pull it up over your face when you're walking or when you're just standing still, and it'll keep your face warm, keep the wind out of your face and your neck. Or you could just go the good old-fashioned way with a scarf. Wool scarves are fantastic, so either one of those, as long as it's moisture wicking and breathable, I would recommend bringing one of those for Colorado. Make sure you pack some shades. You're going to want something that has UV 400 protection, so something that protects against all UV rays. The sun is a lot more powerful in Colorado. I know I've said that before, and Utah as well. The altitude up there is much, much, much higher. You're much closer to the sun. I don't exactly know all the science behind it, but I do know that to protect your eyes, you're going to need a good pair of sunglasses. So make sure you bring a pair. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be expensive. You can buy, you can go to CVS and buy a pair that has all the protection in it for $15. Last one. That's right. Everyone's dad's favorite accessory. This is the fanny pack. So you're going to want to pack the fanny pack because sometimes you might not have a lot of pockets. And even if you do have a lot of pockets, or if you're bringing your backpack along, you're not going to want to be stopping frequently to take your backpack on and off to get whatever you want out of it, and your pockets might not fit everything you want to fit. So fanny packs are great for putting in things like snacks, high-powered protein like granola bars, little energy packets, things like that that'll keep you going while you're hiking up the mountain, and that you don't have to stop to turn around, pull your whole pack off. Just right there in front of you, unzip, pull it out.